All right, great news. I have brand new JJA C4s in boxes right now ready to ship. You can buy them in the store at carversconnection.com while supplies last. I have 3 C4166 soft flex and 3 C4162 stiff flex available and 3 spots on the build list for April delivery. There were more, but 18 boards sold already to riders on my waitlist. These guys found out about this batch more than a week ago. If you want to be at the front of the line for the next batch, get on the waitlist. Easy. Link in description. We'll talk more about these boards in a minute. Just a couple of quick updates first while I distract you with some of the best footage from my trip to Montucky in Utah. Number 1, I will have another batch of canted risers ready for pickup this week, shipping to you March 10th. I think there are 25 sets remaining. Pre-orders get a free set of trenched boot stiffeners and a free set of trenched boot straps. The Butterfly Wing BX riser is also sold out. You can pre-order those as well with the same bonus gear, plus free shipping and a free Carvers Connection t-shirt, but delivery on the wings won't be till October. Now, there's a carving event happening this week at Sugarloaf in Maine, March 4th through 7th, 2025. It's an informal event, just a carve rally. There will probably be about 30 people, maybe half in hard boots, half in soft, but dedicated snowboard carving enthusiasts all. I can vouch for a bunch of them. So show up if you're in the neighborhood, meet some like-minded riders, and see how it's done. Lastly, you may remember JJ and Saray from such videos as the hip shift from last season or retrospective from January. Anyway, they were back last week in Revelstoke testing boards with me, and Saray even got married at the resort. I was honored to be there to witness the beautiful ceremony and join the happy couple in their first run together as man and wife. Congratulations again to you both. May your lives together be filled with many, many happy trenches. Okay, let's talk about snowboards. This is JJ riding his C3 fiberboard prototype, redeeming himself for that nosedive last season and looking way more aggressive this year in his more forward stance. But you all want to hear about the C4 metal boards first, so for more on these, we'll go back to my hotel room in Park City about 2 weeks ago. The right board under the feet of the right riders. I don't want to people just buying whatever I have. I want you to have the right board. So what have we got here? I've got 3 of these. This is a new model C4162, right? 162 is the total length. It's got an 11 meter side cut and a 286 millimeter waist. I have 3 of these in boxes ready to go, and I have this one broken in already for you, ready to ship as well. This is the standard C4166. It is 292 in the waist with a 12 meter side cut. These ones, I've got 3 of these left in a soft flex. If you want mid or stiff, you're gonna have to wait till April. These ones are mid stiff flex, and they're all the same. I can make softs, JC can make softs and you know, mid softs, but not till April. So who's gonna suit these boards? Let's talk about that first, okay? This one, I think of it as the EC version, okay? Because EC is just such an overused acronym in snowboard carving. I just want to be more confusing. In this case, EC stands for East Coaster. If you're riding firm conditions, you don't necessarily need underhang. You don't need the extra width that I have, the toe underhang that I have on a C4166 or an even bigger board. That's for soft snow when you're really digging in. So yeah, so this one's the East Coaster. I recommend it for, let's say, an advanced or expert rider in up to size 10 feet, up at about 180 pounds. That would be the ideal person for this board. Riding firm conditions, 180 pounds, advanced expert level, okay? Or if you're riding West Coast snow or soft snow generally, you're gonna need slightly smaller feet, and it's gonna suit a slightly lighter rider. So I would say the target for that would be, let's say, up to size 9 boot, and anywhere from 160 to 190 pounds. So 160 expert versus or 190 pound intermediate. That's gonna be a great board for you. These ones here you can ride with bigger feet, of course. It's a slightly bigger board, so it's for slightly heavier riders, East Coast or West. I would say, let's say a soft would suit a 180 pound intermediate rider on the East Coast or a 160 pound intermediate rider on the West Coast. A mid would fit, let's say, a 200 pound intermediate rider on the East Coast or 180 pound intermediate rider on the West Coast for a mid flex. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. With each of the buyers, I'm going to email you a link to a form. It's our client intake form where I get a bunch of information about you, and then I will reach out and try to put you on the right board. And again, with our last 10, we will build to suit, basically. Okay. Now we've got a lot of other exciting things happening I wanted to share with you guys too. By the way, this video only goes out to the wait list. Thank you for signing up. I appreciate that. I expect all the boards I have will be sold through the wait list, and I'm not going to take them to YouTube, but we'll see what happens. These 4 boards here from JC, from Exegi, and from Trench Snowboards are all the latest and greatest prototypes in non-metal construction. So I'm testing these pretty hard. I'm working with each of these builders to try and basically make the best glass carbon wood board that can be made. Why, you want to know? Because metal is expensive. Metal is difficult to work with. It's time consuming. We will never be able to scale up production of the C4. It's just impossible, okay? However, these models can be scaled. These are the kinds of boards we can, you know, fine tune exactly what we want, bring it to a factory and start ordering them by the hundreds. So that's what we're aiming towards. In my experience so far riding these glass boards, they are head and shoulders above the old generation glass boards. There's no comparison. On a good day, you wouldn't even know that it wasn't metal. However, when you start to late day, when you start to hit those push piles and mini moguls, yeah, okay, you're going to start to notice it's not metal. They're not going to bust through. They're not going to absorb the same way as the metal boards, the C4s do. And the other big difference is ice. If you're riding East Coast, you ride a lot of ice, really firm snow, man-made snow, you want a metal board. If you're riding West Coast, like I do in Revelstoke, man, I really rarely to never ride ice, and these boards would be fine. Any of them would be fine for me. And again, they're cheaper, easier to produce, and yeah, we'll have batches of these coming for sale eventually. I don't want to put a date on it because I don't want any pressure. If you want to know more about the C4, go to the C4 reviews topic in the forum at carversconnection.com and just see for yourself. I don't need to hype these boards, just see the reviews from the people who are riding them. And by all means, join the forum, ask your questions there. I have been just overwhelmed with emails. As of about a week ago, I just stopped. I just can't keep up. I have boards to test. I have videos to produce, including this one. And I'm down here coaching clients, so that takes a fair bit of my time and energy. Plus it's snowboard season, and as I've been known to have said many times, I have some very important turns to make. So sorry if I'm late on replying to your emails. If you have questions, post them in the forum. That's a way better place for me to respond because I get a lot of the same questions. So if you ask it once and I reply to it, the next guy can just refer to it. I don't need to do it again. It saves me a lot of time and energy. I appreciate it. And I also want to thank all of you guys because you are part of this movement. I am trying, not on my own, but you know, with all of you and you know, other people as well, to get wider boards, higher performance boards under the feet of more riders, to teach these riders how to ride these boards and how to get the most out of them and how to enjoy that G-forces we create with these deep, deep carves. Your contributions, buying these boards, buying these risers, buying the prototypes when I'm done testing them, makes it possible for me to do this. Prototyping is very expensive, but if I can sell the prototypes for what I paid or a little bit more, then it's basically free. And now we have right here 3 new companies that were not making wide boards until I approached them and asked them to make wide boards. Coiler is the 4th. So yeah, I'm pushing hard to try to get better boards for everybody. And again, I appreciate your contributions. So these boards will all be for sale as soon as I'm done testing. This one here is for sale right now. I'm going to put it up in the for sale section on the forum as soon as I get a chance. This is a 175 ASIM with a 14-meter side cut. The stiffness is, I would say that's probably a stiff or just maybe a hair under the full stiff. This is going to suit a, well, it was made for me, so 165-pound elite level carver on the West Coast, right? Is why I need that extra width because I want underhang. All right, enough of that. Thanks for watching. If you like the nerdy stuff, there's lots more exclusive content in the forum at carversconnection.com.
Ooh.